Yes, you guys, welcome back. I'm FC, this is Bluelines TV, and today we are here to discuss more news because the news is coming thick and fast, boys. It's non-stop right now, and with the latest reports today, I'm going to discuss the updates surrounding Tammy Abraham, ZOUMA, KOUNDE, and a deeper dive behind this Lukaku deal. I think you guys are going to like some of the details being released in this article. I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on them, and I hope you guys obviously do enjoy. So if you like today's video, smash the like button. I have released a video surrounding Lukaku already, so make sure you guys give that a watch. And of course, if you like today's video, like the haircut, the drip, if you feel happy that we are finally doing some business in this window, then smash that like button, you guys. And without wasting any more time, let's get straight into things. Now, we start things off by discussing the insight behind the move. Earlier today, Matterlaw released his article sharing more details behind what is currently happening with this Lukaku move, and of course I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions on those stories. As we already know, Tuchel has held talks with Lukaku already. Matterlaw reconfirmed that news, and that is a very positive development to hear. Matt states that it's looking more likely that we sign Lukaku up to the value of £100 million, which is still a lot of money, but it's still quite decent for one of the top 5 forwards. Top 5 forwards across Europe. We move on, you guys, and now we learn more about Lukaku and how he feels about this deal. Matterlaw reports that Lukaku is flattered by the attention the club is showing his way. The attention we're putting forward to try to sign him, the desperation that we are having to get Lukaku signed up as well. He's appreciating that. At the same time, he isn't actually demanding to leave, but he is open to leaving, of course, if Inter Milan need to cash in on him, and of course the vibes are still going to be good. Again, Tuchel has already spoken to Lukaku, and Lukaku was impressed by how Tuchel plans to use him in the system. Now, for me, I think we are seeing the hints already, you guys. This pre-season already, we are seeing Tuchel using 2 up front. Lukaku does very well playing up front alongside someone. We saw this under Antonio Conte these past 2 seasons. That's how you get the best out of him, man. Tuchel is a man that thinks far ahead. Before he signed for us midway through last season, he knew 2 weeks before what his first lineup was going to be versus Wolves. That's the type of man he is. So it's good that Lukaku feels the confidence from Tuchel and vice versa. To move on though, you guys, of course, we found out that Lukaku's salary has been doubled already. That exact figure is around 250k per week. Now, in regards to the club's wage budget, that's quite decent, considering that Haaland was going to be around 300,000, possibly even more. I think N'Golo Kante earns just above that, or around that range, but I'd imagine that in this deal, Lukaku is going to get a very, very healthy signing on bonus. There's going to be some very, very healthy clauses in his contract too. You'd imagine if we win trophies or he becomes our leading scorer, he's going to earn even more. Matterlaw does report that at this point in time, Lukaku is actually considering where he may live in London. And for me, the fact that his head is focused on details like that, the deal should be happening, you guys. Out of all the deals so far, it feels like we are going to get this done because we can only offer cash only because Inter Milan don't want players involved in the deal. Let's hope we can get this done before Crystal Palace. That would be absolutely madness if we could do, but you know what? There is 10 days left. So let's see what happens, you guys. But regardless though, the club's plan still is to keep moving players on. The fact we've generated 60 million from the sales of players, including potential sales too, like for example, Tammy Abraham. If we can get 30 to 40 million, essentially all the sales have completely funded the move for Lukaku. So it does make a lot of sense. And to end things, you guys, there was a separate report from the Telegraph. It wasn't as insightful as Matterlaw's, but they had one very insightful point. And they said that the club see Lukaku as the type of player that has tons of commercial potential and promise. He's the type of player that when you sign, you get that Netflix deal, you get that Amazon deal. And is this giving us maybe some clues and insight behind how the club are thinking to strategize and move forwards in regards to the club's business model? I mean, that'd be quite exciting. Be one of the first clubs which Amazon and Netflix came to present the idea of just documenting our season, but we said no. But after seeing the popularity and how important that is, it's nice to know that Lukaku can play a big part on the fields and off the field as well, you guys. So this deal is getting closer. Is Lukaku going to be our first signing this window? You guys share your thoughts and opinions behind how you're feeling. Are you excited? Let us all know below. And now we move on to the other stories, and this will be like a part A, part B type of thing. We start first with ZOUMA, And this was released by Twitter account X West Ham employee. Now, a lot of times, you guys, I'm not really paying too much attention to what's being said on Twitter. Not for any arrogant reasons or anything like that, but normally because they're not as accurate or as legit as they try to be. But with X West Ham employee, I mean, I know for sure that this guy is the real deal. He had a tweet that was kind of misconstrued earlier in typical Twitter fashion, but what his tweet actually states was that West Ham and ZOUMA got closer to agreeing personal terms to sign him. That doesn't mean that they've met his valuation. And news does get quite negative going forward. It seems like there is a 5 million difference between the valuation that we want to release ZOUMA to West Ham, and that is a valuation they are not willing to appease. It makes a lot of sense, you guys. I've been stressing for a while that West Ham are in a financial pickle. It's quite peak for them, it's quite hard for them right now. And reports are saying that they are turning their attentions to Fiorentina's defender, Milinkovic, who is a very good aerial beast, and you know, regarding their financial situation, he's much more affordable because maybe they can't afford ZOUMA's wages or the overall transfer. Now, this makes things very interesting because it's believed that if ZOUMA doesn't get the right move that he wants in London, for the sake of his family, which is justifiable, you guys, sometimes with family comes first over career, it does mean that he would stay at Chelsea for one more season. I think that's fair, that will happen. I mean, he's still got plenty of years left on his current contract. It's no surprise that we want a ton of money for him due to that. And it's interesting because he is key to signing Kounde. A defender has to go. ZOUMA is the easiest to move on. He has decent market value too. And he's entitled in my opinion because he's done a lot for this club, and I'm not someone that looks to take players' efforts for granted. If it don't work out for him, his ass is going to stay at the club. So this now moves us forward now to the part B of the story, which is Jules Kounde. Now, as we already know, there has been an agreement in place already for Kounde to sign a 5-year deal. That's been dusted, that's been signed. All we're waiting for now is to make a bid that Sevilla are satisfied by, so they can finally release him to us. This is where things now, of course, get more interesting and more sticky because again, there is a valuation difference. We don't want to pay the amount of money that Sevilla want. They only want cash only. The only player that they were interested in signing was ZOUMA, and he doesn't want to go to Spain for obvious reasons. The reports did state that if we could not sign Kounde, we could potentially go into the market to find cheaper alternatives, and if that is the case, you guys, I'm going to be pissed off. Please, please, please. I'm not going to be happy. If we ain't going to get the top ones, I'll go as low as this top 2. That's as low as I'm going in this window, you guys. Then it's not good enough. Then you keep what we have. You know, I'm not going to sign, you know, players who aren't levels, who then can't get moved on. And then we have, what, future Zappacosta's in the club? No. And the fact that you had players like Tamori, you had players like Gurry, and we allowed them to go for pittance for absolutely nothing. Why did they not take one of the squad places? It still baffles me. I still stand by the fact that we should have given Gurry an opportunity because he is that good. And all you guys who doubt, you will see it yourselves next season, man. I promise you that. But again, it comes down to needing to fund a sale first before we can get this deal done. Who knows what's going to happen with Kounde now? It's very interesting. I think the club have to just bite the bullet and accept that, you know what, we have to cough up the money. I don't understand this thing that we have to be so like financially you know, detailed to the point that we won't even overspend by like 5 million or 10 million. That's a bit crazy considering that, you know, we're selling players. We earned a lot of money over these past few seasons as well. I thought the finances were there to make deals like this happen. Yes, it's an interesting one, you guys. It's a very interesting one. We know that Kounde wants the move, but I can't help but feel like this whole Kounde thing has kind of been like another opportunistic move, similar to our efforts for Hakimi, because, you know, we can't forget this. You know, I covered it. Many other content creators covered it as well. We were originally in the market for a commanding style defender. You know, your Sulas, your like Varans, your Upamecano's, someone with that presence, and we weren't able to get them. So I don't necessarily see how Kounde became the player that brought to the top. I'm not saying there was no interest there. Of course there is. He's a great player. He fits the system, but he was not the original priority. So, you know, I'm not too sure, you guys. I'm not too sure what's going to happen with this Kounde deal. That is the ZOUMA Kounde news out the way. We end things, you guys, with the final report, and we are going to discuss the updates surrounding Tammy Abraham. Tammy Abraham is a very popular boy, there's a ton of interest for him. However, there is nothing concrete at this point in time. Now, I'm going to explain why that's the case after, when I make this point, and after I cover the news, you guys. But currently, West Ham are interested. Aston Villa are interested too. They're about to sell Jack Grealish at Man City for 100 million. They have money now. But they only want Tammy on loan first. This kind of surprised me initially, but it makes sense considering that they've spent a lot of money signing forwards. You know, it's a business. They have to make sure that they're, you know, finding that balance themselves. And when you just sign Watkins, a player that had a decent first season, can probably get even better for next season, to spend that amount of money on two strikers competing for one position doesn't make as much sense. And I guess, you know, Villa would only entertain it if essentially they're signing Tammy on loan, so then they can compare who they want to like persist with, I guess, for the following season. That's not too reassuring. Now, there is interest from Serie A, from Atalanta. We don't know if this is for like a actual move or if it's going to be down to a loan move, but the fact that Inter Milan would replace Lukaku with Zapata, I feel like there could be a potential transfer merry-go-round. Ideally, I would not mind if Abraham went out on loan. Maybe he signs another extension first so we can, you know, keep that market value for him. Because I think that he could learn quite a lot playing in Serie A, and especially playing for a team like Atalanta, you know, a very, you know, attacking-centric team. But how I'm feeling, you guys, and I think maybe a few of you guys are feeling this as well, is what we see every time we get to this stage of the transfer window. We're still struggling to move players on or sign particular players. And of course, clubs clock this, so the only way they move is by attempting to make loan moves for our players. That's been the game these past few seasons, you guys. We've seen it ourselves. That's how it's going to be played out again. And even though it's frustrating, I mean, what do you expect? I always felt like it was rich that we were going to get 40 million for Tammy, considering that we publicly kicked him out of the team. Where do you have the power to be able to command that amount of money? I'm not too sure, you guys. It doesn't make too much sense to me. But regardless though, that was the news updates today. I would not be surprised if I'm making another video. Of course, you guys, don't forget we are playing against Tottenham tonight in the Mind Series Cup. I'll be doing a watch along and of course a match review to you guys. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. I'm EFC. This is Blue Lines TV. I'll catch you man later with some more videos. Cool.